Okay, so this is the second time I am recording this video because last time I did it, my power cut out halfway and my PC basically shut down and the recording is now corrupt. So, whatever, I'm gonna just do this whole thing again. Um, yeah, basically, I saw Finbar do a video where he basically just played Russia and explained um, the guesses and gave some tips on region guessing Russia. Um, and I thought I might do something similar, but with Mexico. And yeah, I'll basically just be playing a few games of AI in Mexico and giving my thought process on each round, just trying to go for state streaks and just like get the best score I can. So yeah, hopefully my power doesn't cut off again. Okay, first round. Um, yeah, also I don't want to spend like 5 minutes per round, just like explaining. I'm gonna try and go kind of fast. But we have tree yucca, which are these like SLP trees. I don't know what, but yeah, these are really commonly found in just like northeast Mexico, like around here, generally speaking. We also have like a pretty Tamaulipas looking pavement. Um, what I mean by that is like the pavement, it's like very grainy. The road lines are like slightly faded, and there's just like an overall like bluish tinge to it, which like is super common in Tamaulipas. Like without the road here, I don't know if I would send Tamaulipas. It's pretty hilly, but I guess it could just be like kind of around here, these areas. I don't think it's down here. It's too deserty, and then I guess it could also be like here or something. But yeah, yep, Las Tamaulipas. Okay, pretty easy round to start off with. Um, okay, this round. All right, immediately. This is like a semi urban round kind of. We have buildings. Uh, we have some red brick over there, and also some white brick here in here. Um, and we have I think that's a candelabro cacti. Um, yeah. Uh, so, hmm. Okay. Well, let me explain the buildings first. So, red brick generally, if you look at the Mexico doc for like a more comprehensive distribution of it, it's generally more west in Mexico, whereas white brick is generally more east. This is like just kind of simplified. So usually when we see both types of brick present, um, some states that are good for that are like Morelos, Guerrero, just kind of like this central area near Mexico City where the two types of bricks kind of like converge. Um, yeah. And as for this round, okay, maybe I should check the sign. Yeah, we have a candelabro cacti, which I'm not like the best, like the biggest expert on cacti distribution or even identifying it, but I do know it's like a South Puebla, Northern Oaxaca cacti. And that would definitely fit for Puebla, with like some red brick and white brick as well. Um, yeah, I think it could also be Oaxaca as well. It is a bit dry, so maybe I go Oaxaca here, but it should be one of those. I would hope. And okay, it was Guerrero, but yeah, the cacti it was I think still correct. It's just over the border, unfortunately. Okay. All right. This is a pretty easy round. Um, Immediately, this just looks like Baja Sur to me. Uh, but yeah, we have the best meta here, which is the Baja hanging pole. It's basically just like a dark wood pole, and then you see these like hanging like insulators or whatever. They're kind of like the Yucatan variant, but it's just made out of dark wood. So you see that in just the entire peninsula. And then overall, this is just like having played Mexico a lot and knowing what Baja California, like the peninsula, looks like because there's like one road covered. This should just be like this area, I think, where it's like very flat. And if I check the angle, yeah, it fits for this road. Yeah, this road is basically just super flat, and you get like occasionally like some farmland. And yeah, these like date palms and Mexican fan palms also fit. Um, but yeah, I guess you could confuse this for like Mexicali, but these like silver bushes are also not really found up there. It's more so like a Baja Sur thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna send. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, this should just be SLP, I think. Um, we have, okay, why is this SLP? Yeah. So SLP is generally pretty gettable when you have this like sort of open view on like all the vegetation. Because it is like very diverse in terms of you'll often see like large amounts of like prickly pear, polka agave, and also tree yucca. Um, Whereas like it's kind of like the only state where you would get this like large diversity in plants. Um, I mean, alternatively, I guess this could be something weird over the border, but like I always just send SLP here. Yeah. Okay. This looks like a harder round. Initial thought was southeast. Um, I still like that. Like Chiapas, Oaxaca. Uh, the fuck? Is that a... Okay. Don't think that's... I mean, it looks like a Sinaloa plate, but I don't think this is Sinaloa. Okay, why do I think southeast here? Um, we have a... Yeah, we were basically in the mountains, and we have some like pine trees. Yeah, these pines, you just kind of like through experience, they're like more so the species you see down like south coast, yeah, near like Oaxaca, Chiapas, Veracruz mountains. They can look more disheveled, uh, and then overall, yeah, poor road quality with these like faded road lines. Um, but also fit for south, like or this area where it's generally poor. This like random shack here with like the tin roof is also very fitting for, I would say, like more so Chiapas. Um, yeah, I would just send Chiapas here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was a pretty easy game. Most of the rounds had metas. This one was just kind of over the border and unlucky. But yeah, 22K is a good score. Okay. Immediately we have red brick present. Um, Very dark soil. It's pretty lush, so I immediately like State of Mexico here. Looking for any potential plants such as like prickly pear or like polka agave. Okay, we have prickly pear. All right. Prickly pear and no polka agaves. Bit weird. And we have a lot of red brick actually, so I'm starting to think state of Mexico is slightly unlikely here. And yeah, I think I'm leaning Jalisco now. I'm looking around and we have a ton of red brick. And so originally why I thought state of Mex was because it looked fairly green, but this is just too much red brick I think for state of Mexico. That plate is not a Jalisco plate, but I'm not gonna trust it. Yeah, tons of red brick, dark soil. We have some prickly pear, no polka agave, which confirms or it fits for Jalisco, I think. So let me see if I can find like a blue agave field in the distance to confirm. But otherwise, this looks good for Jalisco. Yeah, I'm just gonna send. And okay, it was over the border in Zacatecas. I mean, yeah, what can you do about that? Like, I don't know, I don't ever go Zacatecas there. It's just unlucky. But the region was right. So yeah. Okay, this is also, I think, a fairly simple round. Um, well, I think realistically you're down between two states here. The best meta here is the black tar in the middle of the road here. So when you see this, it is a bit weird because it's like a double tar, but generally, if we're trusting this meta, if you see this, you're going to be in the states of Guerrero, Sinaloa, and Durango. And with this landscape, we're not going to be in Guerrero. It's also really rare to find dash lines in Guerrero, and this just doesn't look like it. So yeah, leaves us that leaves us between Sinaloa and Durango. And for me, I feel like with this more deserty, less green vegetation with these mountains, yeah, I would definitely go Durango here. This ridge to the west just wouldn't fit for Sinaloa really. And poles also fit for Durango. Maybe I'll try and look for like a single support pole, but I mean this should just be Durango. So yeah, okay, average plunk. All right. We have tree yucca again, I believe, and vine cactus. Okay, bashed row lines. Uh, prickly pear as well. Okay, I'm thinking between Nuevo Leon and Coahuila here. Plants, you have tree yucca, so once again, more of the northeast. We have wow, that's a really cool ridge. Yeah, okay. This might be this might be Coahuila grass with like the tiny tufts of grass up next to the road. It's not exactly like gold, but that's just kind of like a seasonal thing. Um, prickly pear would also make sense. This shouldn't be Tamaulipas with this many prickly pear ever. It's also too just dryish. The mountains are also too big. So yeah, I would go probably Coahuila near Nuevo Leon, like probably like one of these roads. Yeah, this is probably easy 5K, like maybe like this road or something. But yeah. Okay. Well, it was over the border, but yeah, it had to just be kind of those two states with the vegetation and the large mountains. Okay. Alright. Would say this is Nuevo Leon again. Once again, we have the same or very similar looking big mountains. The vegetation is very northeast once again. You see the same sort of types of grass here. And yeah, we have even Yucatan to confirm. This road I would associate more with Nuevo Leon, it being like just a specific like pavement is kind of I like for Nuevo Leon. So yeah. Okay, first Yucatan Peninsula location. We have, is that a Calakmul pole? I maybe, but maybe the insulators are wrong. Either way, I mean this is always just a peninsula with the sort of this like tropical vegetation up close to the road. White soil as well. I would say this is probably Yucatan. I really don't know. I'm not an expert on Yucatan Peninsula. In fact, it's quite a annoying thing to get. It's like not easy to distinguish. You don't have like a solid meta, but yeah, I mean it should be Yucatan or Quintana Roo. I don't really see this being Campeche just from the vegetation. Okay, let's just Cancun. But yeah, good score again. Didn't yeah, okay. I think I missed like 3 states or 2, but whatever. Okay, fairly green. We have a sabal palm again. So yeah, we have many sabal palms. Okay. So yeah, all the metas I'm basically, or most of them I'm talking about are on the Mexico dock. So yeah, sabal palm. I'll give a brief rundown, but that's just very common in Yucatan Peninsula, Veracruz, um, East SLP, like South Tamaulipas, Nayarit, and Sinaloa. Those are the main areas you get sabal palms. And yeah, this is just from landscape. This doesn't look like the East Coast to me. The road is very weird. Architecture is weird. It's not forested enough. I would say this is Nayarit or like maybe over the border in like Mazatlan and Sinaloa. But yeah, I would go Nayarit here probably. Yeah. Okay. Interesting poll. Okay. This is a bit of a weird round. Okay. Just from vibes immediately, I was thinking Michoacan. I don't know why exactly. It's like the mixture of like the road quality and the vegetation, the soil. I really can't place like any other like places in any other state. Maybe Jalisco. Uh, but yeah, this is kind of a strange round. I kind of just like Michoacan here. Uh, maybe Colima, but yeah, we have this like dense leafy undergrowth, which uh you kind of get commonly in like Guerrero, like South Coast Guerrero to like Colima. So yeah, all 3 of these states make a lot of sense to me. Um, maybe not Guerrero. I would probably say Michoacan or Colima here. I guess Colima has more Gen 3 generally, if like we're talking about like where this is probably, but Michoacan also, like with the shit road, fits very well. And yeah, I think I'll go like Michoacan, like maybe like the South Road maybe. I don't know. Okay, yeah. That's why it looked so much like Colima as well with the leafy undergrowth. But also I got a Michoacan vibe. Okay, that was a good get, I think. All right, prickly pear and polk agave. I'm just gonna ignore that. So we have both of those plants present. Yeah, and a good amount of it too. Okay, so immediately thinking pretty close to CDMX. Um, but outside of that, I'm not entirely sure which state. Um, I probably like Hidalgo or Puebla here, just cause. Yeah, I'm not sure. I like Hidalgo, because we have a good amount of prickly pear and polk agave. Um, State of Mex is possible, but we do have a lot of prickly pear. Uh, it's still possible, yeah, but I don't know. Like, the average person just clicks CDMX here and probably gets a better score than I do. But I'm gonna try Hidalgo. Uh, Not too east because it doesn't look super dry, but I'm still scared of, yeah, like Puebla or like maybe even like State of Mex, but yeah, I'm not sure here. Okay, it was Puebla. Yeah, yeah, I didn't really like the Hidalgo guess too much. But I don't know. It's kind of a interesting round. Okay, we did maybe if you move down a little bit, it's more gettable with like the fields and just general. It's not dry enough kind of for Hidalgo. I guess still could have been, but yeah, not sure in that round. Okay. Uh, yeah, we have some corn. Road is really poor here, and okay, we have the insulator. So yeah, I was thinking immediately between Michoacan and Jalisco, and I'm pretty sure this is probably just Michoacan. The road is pretty red tinged. It's also really poor quality, which is kind of a good meta for Michoacan over Jalisco. And the best meta here is the coastal like insulator, which yeah, you get all over the coast usually, but the three best states for it are Michoacan, Colima, and Veracruz. Um, and yeah, this just doesn't fit for the other two states. I would just say this is Michoacan, maybe kind of like close to Morelia or more northern because it looks pretty like central to me. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Immediately looks like Tabasco. Um, I'm not sure if this is a white center line, but it looks like it. And yeah, if you see a white center line in like this type of similar looking tropical climate, then yeah, Tabasco is pretty good. You also have blurred antenna, which is a good meta for Tabasco. And generally, if you like want to know how to differentiate like Veracruz, Tabasco, and like Campeche, Tabasco is very flat. Um, well, most of Tabasco is very flat. If you go to like the south here, it's like kind of hilly. Um, but yeah, it's very flat. We have a good amount of coconut palms, and yeah, with the infrastructure metas, it should just be Tabasco. Okay, another 22k. I think I did get that in the first game as well. Okay. We have bamboo, I think. I think it's bamboo. And yeah, I noticed these insulators, they do look similar to the other insulators, like the coastal insulators I was talking about earlier, but they are like weirdly shaped, which makes them less reliable. But I uh I do think this is possibly Veracruz. Reason being, I mean, just landscape wise, it's very green and lush, but also we have bamboo here, um, which is common for like the Veracruz mountains, and also we have like these like red tinged soil, um, like in the mountains here. But yeah, so I do like Veracruz here. Uh, Outside of that, uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't really see anything else. I think this is just probably Veracruz. Oh, okay. It was East SLP. Let me look at that round. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just a streak ender. The area was right. Like, it was just that, like, mountain range. It's, I don't know. Usually in East SLP, you get a lot of sabal palms, and you can commonly find bamboo, which we didn't have any of those metas. Um, in the previous recording, we did have a East SLP round that I got. Okay, there's a sabal palm there, but unfortunately, that is no longer part of the video. But whatever. Yeah, that's just kind of a skill issue. Okay, looks like Coahuila to me, very sandy. Coahuila is definitely the sandiest state out of the northern states. You just get this like these fields of like white sand. Um, and then the other meta here is the Coahuila grass. These like tiny little balls of gold grass that are like next to the road. Very good meta. Yeah, with this like extremely white soil, this soil is like super, and this like ridge, I would say this is just like this road. Um, yeah, okay. Pretty simple furry round, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on that one. Uh, okay. Hmm. All right. Immediate thought here is Chihuahua. This looks like Chihuahua agricultural area, which is usually west of Chihuahua City. So yeah, we have these like big mountains very close to us, like all around us basically. And yeah, we even get like a very good look of how dry they are. Um Another thing here that is kind of a fake meta, but not really, like are these poles, these like hanging double poles with like the Portuguese like Brazilian style ladders. I feel like I've seen them commonly in Chihuahua. It's not the only state you get them in, but I do find them often in Chihuahua. And yeah, generally this just, I don't know, like from experience, it just looks like near Ciudad Cuauhtemoc or whatever, like west of Chihuahua City is where you get most of the agriculture. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is just a freebie. South. Baja. Basur. Like this is like La Paz or um maybe even like Cabo San Lucas or something. Um, Generation 2 is very common just south of La Paz or like around La Paz area, like this like bulge. Lots of coconut palms, fan palms, these very rocky, like silvery looking mountains with tons of cardone on top. Yeah, should just be somewhere there. Yep. Okay. Pretty sandy once again. So Coahuila is potential. It's possible here. Uh, and we have prickly pear. So yeah, I'm liking it. These dry mountains. Yeah, I do like Coahuila. Not entirely sure um that it is Coahuila. I could see Durango as well. I could see um yeah, I think I could see Durango. I don't see Nuevo Leon or Chihuahua here just cuz um well, not Chihuahua because it looks like we have actually a good amount of prickly pear, and not Nuevo Leon because the mountains are a bit too dry and it's a little too sandy. I actually quite like around Torreon area, um, and yeah, I guess it could be over the border in like Gomez Palacio, but um, that would just be tough. Okay, yeah, well, it's just outside Torreon. Okay, basically, yeah, very good game. 4 out of 5 states. Missing the East SLP, but that was a pretty tough round. So, okay, right. What is this? Just Coahuila again? uh, so honestly, it just looks like Coahuila. Poles are poles work for Coahuila. Is that the grass? I mean, we have prickly pear. I think we have prickly pear. Yeah, prickly pear. Yeah, I would just say this is like northern Coahuila. It looks a lot like Texas. It's very sandy once again, so yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna look at the sign. Just gonna try and region guess this. It's very green. Um, we have these like uh sort of like silky gold grass. Um, the pavement also. Yeah, I mean, it should just be South Tamaulipas. Any sabal palms. That could actually be kind of cool to have, but not really. I mean, the pavement, slightly like blue tinged, faded road lines, sort of like grainy looking. With the this like grass as well, and yeah, it's this Ciudad Victoria, which is in central like Tamaulipas. Um, so yeah, I would, yeah, this is south them, right? Yeah, yeah, it's pointing north. So, and yeah, I said Ciudad Monte, so probably somewhere on this road. Yeah, right. Okay. Looks like Yucatan Peninsula, but which one? Okay. Immediately noticing that it's kind of hilly. It looks like this road is kind of climbing up a hill of some kind. Um, so while Yucatan is possible, generally Yucatan is like the flattest out of the three. So I would, if I had to eliminate one right off the bat, I would probably say this is not Yucatan. Uh, outside of that, I actually like deep south Quintana Roo. I don't know why. We have like pretty white soil, which would fit for that. We have like some white bark trees, which is, if you see them spammed, like a pretty good meta for Quintana Roo. Alternatively, if this is Campeche, I would just probably go like somewhere in Calakmul. But yeah, like yeah, okay, just Calakmul. I'm not a big fan of region guessing. Yucatan Peninsula. There's still not like a super great meta for consistently getting all three. But also, I'm just bad at it, so yeah. Okay. Lots of tree yucca here. And we have prickly pear. So yeah, using plants here. Looks like I think our best bet is Zacatecas. Uh it's the soil is pretty red. Yeah. And we don't have any agaves, which um would make me think less so of San Luis Potosi. It still can be, but yeah, vegetation is just fitting more for Zacatecas, where you only see prickly pear and tree yucca, and the red soil as well. So yeah, uh, it is a bit weird though. I actually, hmm, I guess SLP still could work. I just, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just one of the two. Yep. Like, yeah, story of my life. This is what you get for stage streaking Mexico, and it's absolutely disgusting borders. All right, moving on from that round. Okay. The fuck is this like extremely red soil? um, right. Well, we seem to be in some kind of pine forest, and looks like one of those pine forests near CDMX. Uh, yeah, I can do a quick check for maybe CDMX, or not CDMX, but State of Mexico polls. Basically, those are just these like asymmetrical pole top with like a large, like kind of specific looking dark insulator. We have very, very red soil. Maybe I should send Michoacan here just because of that. I mean, honestly, I do like just kind of like this area. Um, like where like you see a lot of this type of like forest between like the border of Michoacan and state of Mexico. Uh, yeah, buildings also. I guess buildings could just be both. It doesn't really make me think one over the other. But yeah, like you just kind of like I'm pretty sure it's just this area. Yeah, and it was Michoacan. Okay, and it was on the border as I thought it would have been. Okay, very consistent gameplay here of just 22k. That's good, but we're not getting super difficult rounds, so that's also like yeah. Okay, this is a an interesting round. So immediately we have sugarcane. I don't know if I explained this in this video. I did in the last one. I maybe, but yeah, sugarcane distribution. It is on the Mexico dock if you want to get better view of it, but I'm just gonna like do like the general breakdown of it. So you see it in Veracruz a lot. You see it in Jalisco. Morelos has a good amount of sugarcane. East SLP and Quintana Roo. Those are like the main ones. And I think that might be a Veracruz palm, the Atalaya or whatever it's called. Um, Reason I think that is because it kind of has this like um arching like leaves that look like an umbrella. Um, it looks slightly different from like a coconut palm or a regular oil palm. Um, and yeah, just this general landscape I would say is Veracruzian as well. Yeah, Veracruz fences with these like red bark trees lining the road. Very good meta for Veracruz. Okay, bro. It was again over the border in Oaxaca. Once again, another round that just has to be over the border, but sure. Okay. Looking around, this is interesting. Is that a wow? Okay, that's surely just a volcano, right? Like that is a huge mountain. Um, yeah, it's directly west as well. It should just be Puebla then. Like with, I'm pretty sure that's just the volcano. This one. Um, yeah. Like if you see a gigantic like volcano like that, it's just probably Puebla or Tlaxcala. There's a few of them around this area. Yep. Okay. Hmm. What is that? Agave. Okay. Well, okay. I guess that's just polka agave then. It looked a bit strange at first, but that one looks like an actual like polka agave, and we have prickly pear and tree yucca. So with all three of those combined, we should just be in SLP, and by the looks of it, it's pretty deserty. Looks good for SLP as well, with very dry mountains as well in the distance. So yeah. Okay. All right. Very red soil. Um, Prickly pear again. Rock walls. Immediately thinking of Jalisco. This landscape reminds me of that a lot. Um, yeah, I do like Jalisco here. It might be slightly too red, but you do get a good amount of red soil in Jalisco. Um, Alternatively, this could be like Zacatecas or something. That would fit for the red soil and for having just prickly pear and nothing else. Um, Obviously, if this is Zacatecas, it'd have to be like the Bulge or somewhere close to Jalisco. It's not gonna be like downtown Fresnillo. Um, but yeah, I still prefer Jalisco here over Zacatecas. Just because of this landscape being like very open, very green. Um, these like short trees everywhere. Yeah. Okay, it was Zacatecas, and okay, I had a round earlier that was in a similar area as well. But yeah, usually, yeah, I rarely see Zacatecas coverage like east of or like in the green area here. But yeah, just skill issue again. Okay. Right. Interesting round. Some like concrete road, weirdly. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty nothing round. The only meta here is that is like kind of still a working meta, like an ongoing meta. We have like ferns and a good amount of ferns, like a lot of ferns, yeah. Um, that makes me think of the Veracruz mountain ranges. Um, Typically you get a lot of ferns in this area. Not saying this is Veracruz. In fact, I don't think this is Veracruz. I think this is like a North Puebla or North Hidalgo. But just this entire like ridge here, you often see a lot of large, very visible ferns like this. And yeah, I actually honestly do like a northern Hidalgo here. Um, I have seen like weird concrete roads in northern Hidalgo. Um, but and like otherwise like I can't really place this anywhere else. Like maybe it's just like a weird Oaxaca chapas that I haven't seen. And with these like pine trees, it could be, but I mean like you get pine trees in like northern Hidalgo as well. So yeah, honestly, I think this is a. I think we try this guess with so many ferns. Yeah. Okay, that is a really good guess. Yeah, so okay, maybe yeah, ferns. Yeah, mainly just the ferns that made me think of this area. Um, I haven't done like a full investigation on that. It's just like a kind of a hypothesis or a theory that me and Ed Lama both had like separately, and then we end up sort of talking about it, and yeah, it ended up working. So okay, I'll do one more game. I think this has been like enough gameplay. Don't want to make this video too long. Okay, this just looks kind of like Michoacan or Jalisco to me, and we have the Michoacan insulator, um, which you can get in Jalisco as well. Don't get me wrong, but would make me think more Michoacan. Alternatively, I could see Guerrero here actually. This road fits very well for Guerrero. It's like the average Guerrero road with like a single unbroken yellow line, freshly paved road lines as well, or more freshly paved than like most Mex roads. Um, and yeah, like Guerrero can have the insulators too, just more or less common than Michoacan. And yeah, I think just off of the road, I like Guerrero here the most, actually. I don't like Jalisco anymore. Um, and maybe like a random coconut palm could help me with going Guerrero here. Yeah, there's nothing, I don't think. Yeah, I would just go probably Guerrero here, like northern Guerrero. This doesn't look like this central or south where you get bigger mountains. Yeah, okay. It's a good guess. All right, Yucatan Peninsula, presumably. Actually, could be Tabasco. It's very flat again. Vegetation, yeah, with a bunch of banana trees, coconut palm. Um, yeah, I like Tabasco here more. buildings are also like quite colorful, which yeah, quite ornate, which fits for Tabasco and like that area of um Mex. Usually like in Yucatan and Quintana Roo, you get more white buildings, like white painted buildings, and less colorful buildings. So yeah, I like Tabasco here. Okay, nice. All right. Okay, we have a random red field here. It's very hilly. It's obviously, maybe not obviously, but it is obviously. Yeah, I should stop saying that, but it is more this area, um, near the peninsula. Maybe not exactly the peninsula, but just from yeah the vegetation. Um, as for where this is, I kind of like. Wait, okay. Hmm, that is very weird. We have a mountain north. Okay, so when I loaded in, I thought this was like a freebie Campeche with the red field, and also this pavement kind of fits for that. But we have mountains north. So what is up with that? Um, maybe that means like Veracruz or potentially even more like south coast, like Chiapas. Yeah, this is a weird round. Hmm. That might be a Veracruz like fence, like a red tree. But I don't see like a. Maybe that one is as well. Uh, yeah. Not not sure. I know what this is. I'm just confused, really. I'm just gonna go Veracruz with mountains north. Maybe it's like this. Yeah. Okay. What? That's Oaxaca somehow, like on the Guerrero border. Okay, that is. That's a crazy round. I did say South Coast, but I would never go Oaxaca Guerrero border here. I've just I don't think I've seen this ever. Um yeah. Anyway, ignoring that round, we have a northern Mex here. Uh okay, well, I was gonna say it looks like Chihuahua with the road, but we have a Chihuahuan cross. Um so if you see like a polo style cross behind a sign, it should just mean you're in Chihuahua. And even without it, you can still get Chihuahua here. We have like a pretty northern style house with like a backyard and just looks kind of like a northern style house. Um, very dry mountains. Um, and yeah, like you can really only maybe consider like Durango here, but yeah, should just be one. It should just be Chihuahua with the cross. So yeah. Okay, last round. Lots of prickly pear. Um, interesting. Okay, we have a trident pole, which should put us pretty central. Lots of prickly pear. Um, yeah, with the trident pole and like prickly pear here, I would say probably Zacatecas. Alternatively, I guess it could be like more south in Guanajuato. But yeah, these trident poles, um, you do commonly see them in Zacatecas a lot. And yeah, we don't see any yucca, which I wonder. Ooh, I wonder if this might be like South Zacatecas then, um, like closer to Guanajuato. I don't know if you see these poles ever in Guanajuato. It's probably more rare. Might go like somewhere here as a result, or like maybe down close to the bulge. Yeah. Okay, well, it was that area. But yeah, we did get the state. Um, yeah, just from prickly pear, no polka agave. Um, yeah. Okay. So final score, not the best. We had a pretty crazy round that I still don't know how to get, but otherwise, yeah, pretty good guesses. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Hopefully this was somewhat helpful. Just sort of listening to me explain my thoughts on region guessing Mexico. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Discord, or you can also join the Mexico Discord, which I will link in the description. But other than that, I will see you guys next time.